Hi, Bill DeWeese here from voice-over-training.org, talking a little bit about the care and feeding of your voice. Just a few tips to help you keep your voice in tip-top shape, especially here in the springtime when I find that, at least for me, allergies and hay fever starts to hit. And that, for me, is a big struggle. So the number one thing is, if you're a person who suffers with allergies, make sure that you are taking all the right precautions and proper medication if necessary to keep yourself from being stuffy and your sinuses congested, if at all possible. And it might mean experimenting with some different medications. There's some good over-the-counter medications. I personally am using Allegra right now, which is available over-counter, but there are other good medications available. So if you can find yourself a good over-the-counter medication to keep on hand so that if you hit a bad time with allergies, this kind of helps to keep it under control. If it's something worse for you, you might need to see a doctor and see about allergy shots to help to build your defenses against allergies. But during the springtime, spring and fall are two really bad times for allergies. Here's something else, and this is just kind of a new thing that I learned to be aware of, and maybe it will be helpful to you as well. I just recently had an HVAC guy, heating, ventilation, air conditioning guy, come in and take a look at my system, and my house is only a couple of years old, but what I found out was there is a lot of drywall dust in my duct system, and apparently it happened during construction. Perhaps the vents were not properly covered during construction, but whatever the case, my ductwork has a lot of dust, specifically drywall dust, and which accounts for the reason my air filters get so dirty so quickly. So there might be something you would have an HVAC specialist take a look in your house. We're looking at having our ducts actually cleaned out, which is several $100s to do. But if it keeps you from having your allergies and your sinuses irritated on a regular basis, it's certainly well worth it. So again, something you might want to look at. Also, it is good to have a good family doctor that you can call at a moment's notice and who will get you and take care of you in the event that you develop a sinus infection. That's always one of my greatest fears. If I get a sinus infection, because if I'm not working, much like you, I'm not getting paid. So I want to make sure that's tended to quickly, and if I need an antibiotic, a doctor who knows me well enough and knows my physical condition well enough that hopefully he can even prescribe a antibiotic over the telephone, call it into my local pharmacy. So make sure you have a good doctor on hand, a good family doctor. Also, it's good to exercise. And, it's something I really, during the spring and summer, I really like to get out and run. In the wintertime, I have a hard time getting myself motivated to hit the treadmill. But getting proper amount of sleep and getting a bit of exercise, be it walking, running, or whatever it is you enjoy doing, biking on a daily basis or at least 3-4 times a week, can really help to keep your body strong, which in turn helps to keep your voice strong. Also, here's something else that I was introduced several years ago. It is called the neti pot. And during this season of allergies, springtime, the neti pot is a great way to keep your sinuses flushed out, to keep the pollen flushed out, which can be very irritating. And I will spare you the details in a demonstration here on camera as to how this works. But what you do, and by the way, you pick this up at your local pharmacy. I bought this at Walgreens. And it came with a bunch of individual packs of saline concentration that you mix with tap water in this, a nice just warm water, and you put this in one end of your nose. Perhaps you've seen this demonstrated on the Dr. Oz show. And you put it on one side of your nose, you pour the water into your nostril, and it literally flows up into your nasal cavity and out your other nostril. And you can see why now I'm not demonstrating this for you live and in person today. I will spare you the grossness of it all. But it really does clean out the sinuses and gets all of that pollen and pollution and all of that out of there. Also, a good nasal saline spray, not decongestant. That's a whole different type of thing. But just a good saline spray can help to do the same thing. But really nothing cleans it out quite as well as a neti pot. And then lastly, but certainly not least, and this is something you should always be doing, and that is drinking plenty of water. I keep a big water bottle in the studio, and between reads or between projects, I just take a sip of water to keep myself hydrated. And that perhaps, this is your greatest tool and your greatest defense against vocal problems. So, and you may have some other things that you find helpful. And if so, by the way, if you have some suggestions or thoughts, please feel free to drop them my way at voiceoverexpert gmail.com. Hey, thanks for checking in. I wish you all the best in your voiceover business and stay healthy this spring season. Take care.